Hey everybody, this is Perch. Um, I get this question a lot in various forms, and so I'm kind of assembling dozens of emails all together, which is like, what is one thing? If you could change one thing about comics and only one thing, what would it be? And on any given day, any given moment, my answer will probably be different to that question. I might say, comics, I want them in more places. I want, in other words, distribution. Or, oh, you want comics to be cheaper. Or, oh, you want comics to be attractive to big name creators and artists and writers. And, so you get the kind of the creative team boosted through this process. You could give a lot of answers to that question. And I don't know if there's any one right one, but I'll avoid all the ones I just mentioned because in some cases they're kind of obvious. And I'll go to something kind of different, something I don't talk about a lot, but it's on my mind right now. And it's something that I feel has been missing from comics lately. And it's kind of an intangible thing, but it's something that I, as a fan, as a reader, as a customer, almost half a retailer these days. Anyway, it's something that on the warm Texas summers of June, think about a lot, which is what uh, do the are the creators, the writers, the artists, the editors, the whoever is involved in making the comic, what are the big moments that they're tied into that they're trying to accomplish? What I mean by that is if you ever hung out in a comic shop, you would hear people do kind of fantasy booking. You would say, wow, what would be your perfect Avengers team? And then a bunch of people would kind of all, give their perfect Avengers team, and invariably you'd have people always, whenever somebody's being asked to create a team, Justice League, Avengers, X-Men, not Titans, never fantasy books of Titans, but anyway, the bigger teams, right? Sorry, all Titans fans out there. Whenever somebody's doing that, they're like, if it's the Justice League, it's like, well, sorry, Captain America. That's the Avengers. I'm mixing things up. Justice League, we're talking, well, you need Superman, you need Wonder Woman, you need Batman, and you need Green Lantern, you need Flash. And I've been in these conversations like a billion times, and you always get those characters out. And then people always have a pause and they kind of like, And then they think about like, they think I need to put in one or two people that are surprises, that are not big name characters, but you hope to elevate by having them in this team. And so you get a variety of answers from Black Canary to Elongated Man to just all over the place, or let's put in two Green Lanterns. And then people would debate, why do you need two Green Lanterns? Like, well, what if we put in John Stewart and Guy Gardner, and John is like the tactician and Guy is like the, crazy wild rebel? What if you put Lobo on the team? I mean, you get those kinds of debates. And invariably, if you're in those conversations in comic shop, people will eventually say something like, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if at some point in the comic run, you get John Stewart versus Guy Gardner? Like maybe Guy Gardner has been, I don't know, he's being controlled by Starro, or maybe John Stewart is controlled by Starro, or whatever. And so you get like this fantasy booking of the epic match between who would win if they went all out. John Stewart Green Lantern, Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Or, before, well, actually, this proves my point. Back when people would fantasy book the Avengers in the year 2000, 2005, people would say things like, what if Iron Man went up against Captain America? Who would win? And it was it was always a big moment for people to kind of debate. And they were like, man, wouldn't it be cool if you had these two heroes go together? And by the way, it's not just heroes. You would also see things like, what if Wolverine went up against Doctor Doom, and it wasn't like a silly one-shot issue, but like Wolverine is, for whatever reason, Wolverine's like hanging around Madripoor, and these random villains come at him, and they're trying to kill him, and he doesn't know why. And so he's, for like 6 issues, he's trying to figure out what's going on. But he's got like major villains coming at him, like like not like Batroc the Leaper, but like Ultron is coming at him, and he's Wolverine, so he's the best at what he does, and what he does is very nice, and he beats them over and over, but he's confused, like why are all these villains coming at him? And then it turns out that he gets, it is revealed that Doctor Doom is using his influence and his money and everything else to send the biggest villains in the Marvel Universe to kill Wolverine, to incapacitate him, so Doctor Doom could burn away his flesh and melt his adamantium core, his skeleton down, so that Doctor Doom could make new Doom armor out of adamantium. By the way, for those of you listening right now, wouldn't that be a cool as hell storyline? Like imagine a Wolverine 18 or 24 issue arc, right? Like 2 years. And basically it starts with Wolverine is like hanging out at a bar, and suddenly all these like legit villains, increasingly tougher villains, are coming at him like wave after wave, and Wolverine's like just barely surviving. You get some really cool moments of Wolverine going up against the Marvel Universe's biggest villains, and he's like, shit, I'm like, what's going on? And then finally it's revealed, hey, Doom wants to actually murder him, burn his flesh off, and melt his armor down and make armor out of it. Because Doom wears armor, and so having adamantium armor would be like, that would rock, right? If you're Doctor Doom, that would be a big deal. Like, you would want that. So this is motivation for Doom. He's got the means to have the biggest, baddest, worst villains of the Marvel Universe attacking Wolverine, and eventually Wolverine figures out a way to win and all the rest. Wouldn't that be a badass storyline? I mean, I think that would, honestly, I'd read the shit out of that. You put a good artist on that, that'd be great. It's logical. It fits with continuity. It establishes Doctor Doom as, like Doom's trying to, he's so determined to get armor to fight like Reed Richards that he is overlooking Wolverine, which is in character. And he wants to do something heinous to him. He wants to actually burn him alive, melt the flesh off, melt down his skeleton, and make armor for himself. Like that is the most Doctor Doom thing there is. In order for him to go fuck Reed Richards up. Like that's some good stuff. You put, there's dozens of artists that would just do that justice. You would sell the hell out of Wolverine for 2 years. Brett Booth, put him on that book. Oh my God. I don't know if Brett Booth wants to draw all these characters. That's a different story. But if you put like a artist of that quality, get somebody who's got that kind of, 90s sensibility, but his current modern work still looks great, and you do that storyline, oh my God, that'd be amazing. I tell you all this because if you're asking me what would be one thing I'd change about comics, I want more of the creators like really thinking through what are the most amazing moments possible that we could give to the fans. And I want them doing those moments. Captain America Iron Man before Civil War was a dream matchup in the comic shop. And then we got to see it in Civil War. And amazingly, it sold really, really well. It sold way more than 100,000 copies easily and had an umbrella effect that raised the sales of everything around it. Like that was Iron Man Cap. It was a big deal. You don't need to just do hero versus hero, though. There's plenty of storylines where it's like, what would happen? What would happen with Wonder Woman if, DC's been trying to figure out how to elevate Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman is an Amazon warrior who's a badass with, who's gone up against gods. Why don't you have a long storyline? Again, 12 issues, 24 issues. Like, forget Wonder Woman going up against the old man that Tom King's got her going up against. Send Wonder Woman against Darkseid. And not just Darkseid, but all of his minions there. Do that. Like, let's see that battle. Let's see Wonder Woman all out, knockdown, bloody, drug out fight. She's over her head against Darkseid. and then Desaad and Granny Goodness and all those other people who are part of the New Gods kind of ecoverse. Hell, at some point Orion comes at her because like you don't get to kill Darkseid, I do. Right? I mean, you got a bunch of things you could do there, but send Wonder Woman off on the challenge of her life. She has got to. I mean, basically, it's grit, it's Amazon warfare, it's blood, it's it's hardcore. I want more writers and artists shooting for that. I want more of the creators inside comics imagining what is the biggest, baddest fantasy booking, the match you've never thought you've ever seen. You never thought you would ever see. Give us that. I want to see something that none of us ever thought was possible. I want to see people swinging for the fences. I want to see, you've got the Marvel universe on, as your play box, as your toy box. I want to see you doing things that are no one will ever believe you got away with. Every now and then I read these interviews. Donnie Cates used to do this. He's like, I can't believe they're letting us get away with it. You can't believe that the character you created, Null, is going to fight Venom, and they're going to put goo all over the earth, and Venom's going to have to fight his way through and eventually beat Null. Yeah, I got news for you. All of the fans, we can't imagine this. We can't imagine you got away with this. We all can imagine it. It's not that interesting. Give us something completely, absolutely insane. Give us the fantasy booking. Give us the thing that we never, ever believed you would do. Give us that matchup. I understand Venom's a nice guy. How about you give us the Venom Spider-Man fight to end all fights? How about you give us Venom Spider-Man, the last fight, the one where both these characters just go all out to kill each other because that's it. Give us that. Give us everything. I want to see comic creators going for that. Do that. That's what I want. What do you want? Thanks for listening.